kind of jacket. I'm supposed to go to a christening and I have nothing to wear.
Stop by then. It's not like he'll be needing any of them.
How long has it been since he went missing?
It'll be 3 years.
All right.
It really is a mystery. Just disappearing like that overnight.
Lord knows what really happened.
God forbid anything bad happened to him.
Not a chance. If he's dead, then so be it. But if he ran away, he's a bloody bastard. And I never want to see him again.
Car! Go! Go! Car! Go! Car! Whoa! Whoa! Keep the peace.
Look out!
And we won't have any problems. Maybe next time.
You're a Christian of Pisak?
I am? What do you need?
Kunzlin Ruthard sent me. About Via Argentum.
I see. But I'm afraid I don't have good news for Sir Kunzling. I haven't made much progress regarding the matter we discussed. I just don't have the time to investigate. I'm always needed somewhere, and there's always someone following me around.
Have you found out anything at all?
Just rumors. And those are useless. What's your name?
Henry.
All right. Listen up, Henry. Nobody can know I'm looking into it. It's a very dangerous game. If Sir Kunslig trusts you, you could help me in my investigation.
Well, that's actually why I'm here.
Excellent. Excellent. You don't happen to come from a family of miners or smelters, do you?
Well, I'm from Skalitz, so I know a little bit about mining.
My word. You didn't work in the mines, did you?
I visited the mine once, but not to dig.
So I expect you don't know much. Well, no matter. I'll be happy to tell you everything you need to know. Now, follow me, please. We need to talk somewhere in private.
Where should I start looking?
Straight to the point. I like that. We know for a fact the silver must be getting lost somewhere on its way to the mint. That means it would be best to discreetly inspect all operations and find out where the problem is. First of all, you should ask miners from every shift how many corves they mine in a day. After that, we'll compare the numbers to the mine record books and see.
But the yields aren't the same every day, right?
True. That's why we have to focus on one particular day. For example, the other day, on the Feast of St. Petronilla, Foreman Fett was beaming and bragging to me about how much it helped. I mean, mined out.
So, I'm supposed to ask about the Feast of St. Petronilla?
It was just a few days ago. I reckon it'll be fresh in their memory. Nevertheless, the miners are a strange bunch. They might not be very forthcoming at first, and they have an odd way of speaking. Like, calling each other Sonny, however old they are. But you'll hear for yourself. You should pretend to be really interested in them, and maybe they'll open up to you. You could be a scholar writing a treatise on silver mining, or perhaps a nobleman interested in buying a mine. Or just say I'm your distant uncle who's initiating you into the ins and outs of my job. It's up to you.
Pretending to be your nephew sounds like the best option.
Suit yourself. Just don't change your story so you don't arouse suspicion. But to the point, each day 3 shifts work in the shaft. Each has its foreman, or gaffer, as they say. The first shift is led by Frank, the second by Paul, and the third by Samko. You'll have to ask each one of them how many corves they mine. Samko's hewers should be off work now. You'll find the other 2 shifts in the mine. Take this, so the guards will let you in. It's a letter of safe conduct bearing my seal, allowing you free movement within the mine.
And what are you going to do?
I'll return to the estate to do my job. What else? I reckon they must be wondering where I am by now. Once you find out how many corves the 3 shifts mined on the Feast of St. Petronilla, return to me. We'll compare that number to the entry in the mine book. And don't forget, don't draw attention.
Who owns the silver that's mined here?
All the silver in the kingdom of Bohemia belongs to the king, whether it's above ground or still below it. Though I'm sure you understand, the king has a lot on his mind, and he can't be expected to worry about mining. So he leases out the mining rights to his... It's called the Burgergal. There's a lot of money in it. The tenants have to pay the king, and the king also receives a share of the pure silver from the smelting works. That's the royal tithe.
What is this path of silver, anyway?
It's the whole process, from digging the silver ore out of the ground and processing it, to minting silver coins. Silver is found in ore veins underground. The pitmen mine it and get it to the surface. The chief foreman of a gallery counts the corves, and the assayer estimates the purchase price of the ore for the smelter. The raw ore goes to the smelter, where it's crushed in a stamp mill before it can be purified by roasting. Roasted ore goes to the furnaces, where it's smelted into raw and then pure silver. Silver is then cast into rods about as thick as your little finger.
Can any silver get lost?
It can. And unfortunately, it does happen. It may be a capital offence, but even that won't deter everyone. Most often, a pitman tries to smuggle pieces of ore under his clothes. It doesn't end well. Nevertheless, the entire path of the silver, from the ore beneath the ground to minted coins, is closely guarded. Every step is recorded in the books, so if someone is stealing large quantities, they must have it pretty damn well figured out.
Who checks the royal share?
The Royal Mint Master and his subordinates are responsible for collecting the royal share. That also means me and the shaft foreman. That is why every step of the path of silver is monitored and recorded, starting with how much ore is mined. The smelting works owners don't have to be monitored as closely, since they buy the ore from us. It's in their best interest to get the highest possible yield after deducting the royal share.
Who makes money from all this?
The thing is, everyone does. Pitmen get paid for mining in the shaft. Mine operators get paid for raw ore. The smelters then smelt everything, sell the pure silver, and deduct the raw tithe. The silver rubs off on the hands of anyone who even touches it. But there's still enough left over for the king.
Who owns the mines?
The king grants mining rights to his loyal subjects. And these leaseholders can rent out their privileges to other people. All sorts of people operate mines in Kuttenberg. Nobility, rich burghers, even the monastery. In fact, anyone with enough money to pay for new shafts to be dug can share in the proceeds.
Who's responsible for the mines?
The mines and the mint are supervised directly by the Royal Mint Master, Ulrich Vervark von Neuhaus. As the steward, I'm his direct subordinate. I oversee that everything runs smoothly on his behalf. Then come the chief foreman, then the other foreman, and finally the ordinary pitmen in the shafts. But I don't come in contact with them very often. We follow the path of silver until the moment an ore merchant buys the ore from us and takes it to a smelter.
How much do the mines pay to the king?
That depends on whether it's a royal mine or a mine in the hands of a mining guild, meaning the leaseholders.
I thought all mines were owned by the king.
That's right. But it's much more profitable for the king to grant mining rights to rich mine operators. They bear the cost of mining themselves and pay him a share. The king receives 1/3 of the profits from his own mines, but only 1/5 from the leaseholders. That's how he gets what's his from all the mining.
What about the other 2/3 of the profits from the king's mines?
Those go towards the costs, of course, for operations, wages, and shaft security.
Who's responsible for the smelting works?
They have their own owners. They buy ore from us and smelt it into pure silver. Then they deduct the royal tithe and they can sell the rest. And not just silver. Processing the ore yields a variety of other materials that can be sold just as well.
What happens in the smelting works?
Each smelting shop has a stamp mill, a roasting pit, and a smelting furnace. The stamp mill is used to crush the ore into smaller pieces to make it easier to process. After that, the crushed ore is roasted in a roasting pit to remove most of the impurities. Finally, everything is smelted in a furnace to separate the pure silver from the slag.
So it's processed similarly to steel for smithing?
Yes, but in steelmaking, you don't have to weigh and record every step thrice.
How are groschen made from the silver?
The royal share from the smelting works goes to the mint in the Italian court. There, the coiners hammer it out into silver sheets for cutting the coin blanks. Then, in the Italian court's preghouse, our minters cut out and punch new groschen.
How many mints are there in total?
Only the main one is left, the one in the Italian court. There used to be more of them throughout the kingdom. But King Wenceslas II united them all. It was he who contributed the most to the rise of the Prague groschen and the wealth of this region. And, of course, his own wealth too.
By the way, I've had the honour of meeting your brother, Peter.
Well, well. Small world.
He was a great help to us at Suchdol.
Even though we had some disagreements, I respect him for everything he succeeded in doing. If it weren't for him, I'd never have been able to do what I do.
Are you Foreman Samco?
Aye, I am. And who's asking?
My name is Henry. Steward Christian sent me to you. I'm his nephew. He wants me to learn about his work.
Why should I care? Didn't you see we're off graft?
Sir Christian told me to ask about anything that interests me, and that you'll tell me.
Ah, Sonny, I'm so tired. I haven't even got the strength for gabbing. I wouldn't mind having a game of dice, but minus rules. Then I'll tell you everything. What'd you say?
All right, let's do it. I don't think I've played minors with a real minor before.
See? Kidder. There's a first time for everything. Let the groschen roll.
Today's my lucky day. I can feel it in my bones. Aren't those dice sad that you're just letting them sit there? Here. Damn it! Here. Kurwa! Bloody dice. Kurwa!
Great game, Sonny.
Now will you tell me what I want to know?
Aye, ask away.
What is the work of a miner about?
Aye, that's a good question, Mara. Mostly about oaking. Any yakker'll tell you that. But proper rest is even more important than graft. You're as weak as a midgie without it.
So how do you rest?
Depends. Some have a kip. Some a swally. Some go whoring. As for me, I play dice.
How do you mine ore?
Either we're on hard rock, and then no one's hewing shit, or we're hewing something soft, and then it goes grand. Only then there's not much silver in the ore, and you've got to smelt the shit out of it.
How much do you make doing this?
Don't even get me started. The chink's bad, and it's getting worse. Half a grosh and a cough is no.
How many corves did you mine on, say, the Feast of St. Petronilla?
I can tell you exactly. All the yakkers were working, and we were getting along nicely. We managed to howk 34 corves, without skimping on hame time. First time in ages, that was.
That's all I need to know.
If you need out else, feel free to drop by.
Good day.
Greetings to you too.
So,
You're the head foreman here?
And who are you? You have no business here.
Henry. I have a letter from Sir Christian. I'm his nephew. I'm supposed to take a look around the place.
Look around all you want. Just don't get hurt doing it. They call me Thet. Head Gaffer Thet. If I've any questions, ask away and don't keep me waiting.
What does a head foreman actually do?
What do you think? I give orders to all the yakkers in the pit and in the shafts. They call me Master, and they're proper respectful, because I'm the one who doles them out the chink for what they hew. I also keep the records, check the counts, and keep the coffers for the yield.
How many miners are you in charge of?
Oh, you know, Sonny, that depends. Every crew has a gaffer, a foreman. He hires men as necessary. There are 3 crews in the pits now, so I reckon there's about 30 pitmen just there.
How much ore do you extract in a day?
It's a little different every day. It depends on the rock they're hewing, if it's soft or hard. Sometimes it's 50 calves, sometimes 70.
How much was extracted on, say, the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Well, fuck. It's interesting you should ask about that particular day. I actually know that one exactly. It was a lovely 90 calves. The most in a really long time.
How much do the miners earn?
I pay them half a groschen for every full calf. The more calves of ore they bring out by, the more groschen they get. If they happen to be hewing soft rock with less silver, I give them some extra chink. The same.
Foreman Frank?
What you looking for, Sonny? Can't you see we're hewing?
Sir Christian of Peacex sent me. I'm his nephew, Henry. I'm supposed to see what the work in the mine is all about.
He's grooming a successor, eh? But you can't just amble around. You'll cap your creels.
I'll just have a few questions.
The more we gab, the less we gar. But make it snappy, man. What do you want to know, like?
What is the work of a miner really about?
What's it about? Bugger all, kidder. No great shakes. We gans through the roads, Bella. Hewing off from rock in the dark and breathing in the stithe.
How much do you get for your work?
I'll tell you, man. Them deputies up at bank make a howfin' pile of chink. But us buggers, the ones doing all the graft, we earn a pittance.
Can you give me a more specific number?
Sometimes, not even half a grosh and a cough. That's near way to make a living, man.
How exactly do you mine ore?
Bloody hell. Have you never seen a yakker graft, kid ya? You take a kevel and ding away at the rock till it crumbles. And if you keep ganning at it for a couple of years and don't croak from the stithe, then you'll keel over from exhaustion or get scrushed by the ceiling of the road you're hewing.
How do you get the ore outside?
Same way it's hewed, in the dark and in coves. On top of that, you spend a lot of the bloody time on all fours. Once you get out by with the corf, you get a tally, and you can get back in by.
I wonder, how much do you mine in a day?
That depends on how much ore you howk out of this or that face. It varies.
How much did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Listen, kidder, aren't you a bit too curious? So Christian himself can tell you how much he's got written down in the mine book.
What do you want in return for telling me? Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, there is summat you could do for us. Me and my crew have been howking away in this heat, and we're bloody parched. We could do with a proper bevy, but Foreman Fett got scunnered we were boozing in the shaft, so he locked it away in a chest on the bank, bringing enough ale for the whole crew. And I'll tell you how many corves it was.
I really don't have...
So we should just do you first, eh?
Uncle Christian doesn't have time for me. You know how busy he is. If he asks me what I've learned, I'll have nothing to tell him.
That's right, too. He'd be proper scunnered at me for telling you that stuff. That won't do, kidder.
Spill it, or I'll kick your arse. I want to know how many corves you mined on the Feast of St. Petronilla. I won't ask again.
All right, easy, Mara. We're not going to scrap in the mound, are we? I'll tell you, it was a good gar on the Feast of St. Petronilla. Our yakkers hewed 36 corves.
Thanks.
Nah, thank ye. Now leave us to hew, Mara. We've got a lot of graft ahead of us. Take care for now.
Where can I find your foreman, Paul?
What you doing here, kidder? Who let you in, bay?
I've got a letter of safe conduct from Christian of Pisek. He's my uncle. He sent me to see the mines and learn what his work is all about.
His graft? Hewing ain't his graft, kidder. That's books and papers.
I just need to ask your foreman a few things.
Our gaffer's gone down there to pray. I don't know if he'd be up for talking, but...
Why wouldn't he be in the mood for talking?
Young Jaybird, one of our marras, got scrushed the other day. He hadn't even had a full week on the graft, poor lad. It happened the day before the Feast of St. Petronilla. You'll find Paul at the lowest level by the roof fall. He's praying for the salvation of his soul. You'll hear the wind howling in the adit down there. It can be heard as far as that cursed road. I hear it's haunted. Don't fret, but St. Barbara look out for you. Take care.
Greetings to you.
Are you Foreman Paul?
Eh? You walk like a ghost, kidder. You gave me a bit of a fright there. Hold on. I don't know ye. Who are ye? And what are you doing so deep in the pit?
My name's Henry. Sir Christian sent me. I'm his nephew. He wanted me to learn about his job, so here I am. I hate to interrupt your prayers for a dead friend, but I need to ask you something.
He weren't just me marrow. He were my blood. I raised him from a nipper since my sister died. He kept begging me to take him on a shift, saying he was strong as a horse. Wouldn't have taken her like. And now, I can't forgive myself.
There's no more pain in heaven. Don't be so hard on yourself.
You're right. I hope the Lord has welcomed the poor lad into the kingdom of heaven. Will you pray with me for his soul one last time?
Aye. I'll pray with you.
You're a canny lad. Repeat after me. Almighty and merciful God, our Father, you are the giver of gold, silver, bronze, copper,
Almighty
tin,
and merciful
iron,
God,
and
our
all
Father,
ores and metals.
you are the giver
I ask
of
that you
gold,
bless my brother
silver,
who has died in this
bronze,
mine.
copper,
And may
tin,
your holy angels
iron,
save his soul from
and all
damnation.
ores and
Bring his
metals.
soul to
I ask that
eternal
you bless
glory
my
through
brother
our Lord,
who has
our
died in
Saviour
this
and
mine.
Redeemer, Jesus
May your
Christ.
holy angels save
Amen.
his soul from
The
damnation.
angel of the Lord declared
Bring
unto
his soul
Mary,
to eternal
and she
glory
conceived the Holy
through
Spirit.
our Lord,
Hail
our
Mary.
Saviour and Redeemer,
Mary said,
Jesus
Behold,
Christ.
I am the handmaid of the
Amen.
Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy word. Hail Mary. And the word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. Hail Mary. Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ. Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace into our hearts, that we, to whom the incarnation of Christ, thy Son, was made known by the message of an angel, may by his passion and cross be brought to the glory of his resurrection. Through the same Christ our Lord. Amen.
So, are you going to answer me now?
Aye. Thanks for praying with me. Ask a boot out.
What is the work of a miner about?
What it's about? It's about you in the face and hauling the ore to the bank in coves. Over and over again. Proper graft, that. Can be real dodgy, mind. Might even do you in.
Are deaths in the mine common?
Aye. But every death in the shaft is a waste. Whether it's in a crumple or black damp. Unfortunately, we still bury a yakker or two a month, you know. That's life, like.
So how many corves did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
That weren't a good day. Nobody was in the mood for ganning on after what happened to Jaybird. But even so, we managed to hawk 30 corves.
How is the ore mined?
First, we have to survey the shaft and find ore. Then the place gets scored and set ablaze. We set up timber around. The hewers take their tools and start dinging rock and hewing ore. Nothing to it.
How much do you make doing this?
Depends on how much we hawk. How hard the rock is, how much ore's in it. It's not really worth it, though. Half a grosh and a corf isn't much of a fight.
That's all I need to know.
What did I do to you? What did I do to you?
I already know how many corvs the crews extracted on the Feast of St. Petronilla. It was 100 altogether.
I see. Meanwhile, I looked in the mine book. How many do you think it says there?
I'd guess it's less.
Then you'd be correct. The book lists 90 corvs extracted. That means 10 corvs of ore disappear each day. But nobody could just come along and take them. We keep a close watch on everything. The unreported corvs must be going out to smelting works with the rest of the ore. That means...
What does it mean?
that this is fraud of colossal proportions, and that Foreman Fett and Herman the ore merchant are in it up to their ears.
What about Vavak?
I still think the trail will lead us to him, but we know too little so far. You need to talk to Fett and Herman first. Being involved in the theft of silver is a capital crime, so it should be in their own interest to cooperate. Make sure to promise them no one will know about their crime. You can mention my name. When you've talked to them, come back to me and we'll figure out what to do next.
Good day to you.
Grüß dich. Was wünschst du?
We need to talk, Herman.
And who might you be?
Henry. But that's not important. Sir Christian sent me. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Discrepancies?
How do you explain that the miner has extracted 100 cores of ore on the Feast of St. Petronilla, but the book only says 90?
If it says 90, there must have been 90. The book does not lie.
Or someone is writing down false numbers and hiding 10 corves.
I do not write anything in the book myself. Foreman Fett counts the corves here. Go and talk to him instead.
Don't tell me you don't count them too. You wouldn't pay for more corves than there really were.
Do you have any idea how much ore passes through my hands? How am I supposed to remember how many there were ausgerechnet on the Fest of St. Petronilla? Besides, miners can lie and say they extracted more than they did. They like to show off.
All 3 crews agreed to report more. I seriously doubt that. Look, you don't have to be afraid to tell the truth. Me and Sir Christian agreed to settle the matter quietly. We're not going to punish anyone.
I am innocent. It was Fett's idea. He came to me saying we were going to deliver more corves to the smelters than we would report, and I would get paid for it. It was going well. I have always paid for what we put in the book. Then I got some geld from Fett on the side. On the Feast of St. Petronilla, I was afraid they would be able to tell the difference. 10 corves is 10 corves after all. Nobody at the smelting works cared at all. I am sure they are in on it too.
Is Ulrich Vavak behind this?
The Mint Master? I have no idea. I am a mere assayer. I have never even met Vavak.
How long has this been going on?
Several months. Maybe half a year. About since Sigismund arrived.
So Christian and I agreed to investigate the matter in secret. So just act like nothing's going on. Keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to scare off the people who are actually responsible. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. I will be as silent as the grave.
Good day.
A word, Foreman.
What is it, nephew of the Lord of Pisek?
Sir Christian sent me. I need to discuss a delicate matter with you.
Don't tell me one of the yakkers shot all over the outhouse in the yard again.
I'm afraid it's a little worse than that. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Let Sir Christian handle it then. They're his books, and his responsibility too.
But you're the one counting the corves of ore.
Your point being?
I learned that the miners extracted no less than 100 corves on the Feast of St. Petronilla. You told me it was 90. And that's how much the mine book says too.
Do you think the yakkers know how to count? They're blockheads. And they like to show off. I'm sure they just exaggerated. Anyway, what's it to you? Did the steward send you to snoop around? Don't you know? I work for Vavak, the mint master himself. I'm under his protection.
Aye, there's no point in denying it. Herman told me everything.
Bloody snitch.
He had no choice. If you tell me everything you know right now, you'll go unpunished. I can guarantee that in Sir Christian's name.
Keva, you're all I need. As soon as I was made head gaffer, Amara, who works at the smelting works in Grund, came to me. He said someone wanted to talk to me. One of them. So I met this fella in the tavern in Grund, and he told me how it all works. How to cook the books like. He told me the trick was not to report some of the extracted ore and transport it secretly to the smelters along with the rest. He made it very clear if I didn't play along, I could have an accident. There was nothing I could do.
Who was that fella from the smelter who came to you?
He never told me his name, even when I asked. He's a tall bloke, stocky, pockmarked. I don't scare easy, but this bloke was reet terrifying.
How long has this been going on?
For some time now, definitely. I heard even former head gaffer Kircher was in on it too.
Where can I find him?
You can't ask Kircher any questions. He fell down a shaft. They say he was drunk, but I don't think it was an accident.
Do you think the Mint Master, Ulrich Vavak, is behind this?
I don't know. I've got naught bad to say about Vavak. He treats me canny whenever he shows up. He says if Christian gives us hassle, he'd sooner replace him than me. He really said that. The Mint Master himself.
Who pays you on the side? You have to pay the miners for what they actually extracted.
I get the extra chink from the smelting works. It's enough for the yakkers and for Herman.
All right. Just carry on as if nothing's happened. No one must find out we know about the fraud. Christian won't give you any trouble, nor will anyone else. Is that clear?
Clear as a bell, Mara. I'll be silent as the grave.
You're in a foul temper today, aren't you?
For fuck's sake! This bloody war's all we need. Our fields are ravaged, our barns are empty, all our ale's gone,
And the women folk are pissed off.
Watch where you're going!
I talked to Fett and Herman.
And? Did they confess?
They did. I mean, I made them. It's just as we thought. The trail leads to the smelting works.
Did you tell them to keep quiet and act as if nothing's happening?
I did.
Let's see what we've got so far. Those 10 unreported corves leave for the smelting works from here. If silver's going missing, that's where it must be happening. You'll have to go and look around, and talk to the owner, Buresh. I reckon that'll be tricky, though.
How so?
Buresh is a very cautious and clever man. I reckon he won't be happy to have someone snooping around his property. But he's the only one who can give you permission to walk round the smelting works without the guards bothering you.
Something like your letter of safe conduct. How can I persuade him to give me one?
Like I said, it won't be easy. Nevertheless, I found a way you could gain his trust, at least a little. You'll pretend to be a nobleman interested in buying some smelting works, who'd like to get a closer look at his operation.
A nobleman this time, then?
But be careful. Buresh won't be as easily fooled as the simple pitman here. You'll have to dress like a real nobleman. That means no plate armor, or, God forbid, bloody rags. But listen, don't carry a weapon. Buresh has a morbid fear of someone threatening him. That's why he has a bodyguard with him at all times. You must come to him dressed to the nines and act impeccably, so as not to arouse the slightest suspicion. In short, be charismatic as you can manage.
What else should I know about the smelting works before I go?
In the smelting works, ore from the mines is crushed, ground, and then smelted. They extract silver along with all sorts of other materials from it. Then they give part of the silver to the king for the minting of groschen and sell off the rest, along with the other materials, to craftsmen.
What should I know about this Buresh before I talk to him?
He's the slyest fox of them all. He comes from somewhere in Moravia, and he moved to Kuttenberg a few years ago. He started to prosper soon after, and not even Sigismund's arrival stopped him. He quickly joined his side. Now he's doing better and better. But whether that means he's involved in something shady, who knows?
What should I wear?
Like I said, some decent clothes. I reckon you can imagine what those look like. If you don't have anything of the sort, visit a tailor in town. I'm sure he can sell you something nice. If you're charismatic enough, Buresh is sure to believe your intentions are good. And make sure you wash up before you go. You can't go and see him looking like some dung-soiled peasant.
I got it. I'm ready to go.
Here, I've written you a letter of introduction to take with you and give to Buresh. I reckon he won't be thrilled, but he won't turn you down. Ask him discreetly, in passing, how many corves he took from our mines on the feast of Saint Petronella. If my guess is correct, It should be 90. It still doesn't prove anything, but at least it'll give us a clue. You could get something out of the workers. One of them is bound to know something. When you're in the smelting works, keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure something is going on there. Good luck, Henry.
Where should I look in the smelting works?
If you can get into the workshops, see if anything could be going missing from there. It'd also be a good idea to ask the workers if they've seen anything suspicious. I reckon I don't need to tell you to be as cautious as possible, do I? We don't want to cause a stir before we find out what's going on. A moment ago. There's a thief lurking about.
Look out, the ceilings are low, sir. Wouldn't want you to hit your head.
Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy. O angel of Christ, holy guardian, protector of my soul and body. Greetings.
Greetings to you.
Right. Hold on.
We'll see whose side.
Now, just have to close up.
Jesus Christ be praised.
That's the way it's bloody well done.
Bottoms up!
What would you like?
Can I spend the night here?
We're not really equipped for that here.
Just the one night's enough. All I need is to spend the night.
For a few groschen, there's some room on the hay.
All right? I'll pay. Here's some groschen for you.
Agreed. Like I said, you can sleep on the hay, but don't go wandering about my house. What kind of pig was sitting here?
Like I'm invisible or something.
Why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
Greetings to you.
Ka! Ja! Go! Ka! Ka!
Whoa!
Aye. What can you do? Greetings. Do you need something?
What's going on here?
Well, Ma's gone crazy because Pa hasn't come back from the village yet. Try and tell her to calm down. I don't know what else to say to her.
You live here? In the woods?
Well, it wasn't our choice, believe me. But it's a long story, and I don't want to hold you up. I'll be with you. So much dust.
Bit over.
What's going on? Do you need help?
Thanks for stopping here. My husband Mikush hasn't returned from Billany. Me and Vendula are awfully worried about him.
Wait, I need to know a bit more. What's your name?
Spartava,
I'm Henry. And Vendula would be...
our only daughter.
And your lost husband is... Mikush?
Aye. Since we've been living in this hut, he's been going to work to Billani.
When did you last see him?
He left a few days ago. He's never been away this long.
What job did he do in Billamy?
He's a damned good tailor. But besides that, he does odd jobs around the village. He always brings whatever he earns here. Mostly food. The little we manage to grow here isn't enough.
Why don't you look for him yourself? Billamy isn't that far.
I can't. I've injured my ankle. I can't walk that far.
What happened?
I twisted it when we were running away from the soldiers through the forest. It's better now, but it still hurts. It would take me half a day to limp to Billany.
So why don't you send your daughter?
By herself? Are you mad? She's young, inexperienced. Something might happen to her.
Did your Mikush have any enemies you know of?
Enemies? No. He's a nice man. He never hurt a soul. Maybe he's a bit too nice. He trusts everyone. I'm worried someone might have tricked him into something.
What do you mean?
He thinks people are good deep down. I don't think that. People can be right bastards. That's why I'm so worried about him.
Do you want me to find him?
You'd do that for me?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll find him. Where do you think I should start? In Billany?
Aye. Ask about him in the tavern. He wears a fine embroidered hat. Everyone will remember him.
Why are you here? In the forest?
We had a big house in Messales. But then Sigismund's mercenaries decided to burn the village to the ground. Mikush, Vendula and me all escaped at the last moment. The others weren't so lucky. It was hell on earth. You can't imagine the terror.
Well, I'm from Skalitz. I reckon I can.
You can? I don't know. In any case, we ended up here. At least we had some roof over our heads. But now, I don't even know what'll happen next.
Why did the soldiers attack your village?
Why? Good Lord, such a question. They didn't ask us anything. The worst thing is, the village paid some mercenaries for protection. But they took off the moment they saw horses kicking up dust on the horizon. I'm glad old Svartosh, my father, didn't live to see it. His heart would have burst.
How are you getting along here?
Now, quite miserably. I hope you find my Mikush soon. We won't be able to go on without him.
I'll try and look for him.
Oh, bless you, kind soul, and good luck. So there was no point in coming here.
Quick! Quick! God! Whoa! Whoa! Go! Ka!
Listen to what I have to say. Only a blind man can't see it. Sing it 10,000 times.
Whoa!
You'll get your money back.
All right, just don't take it the wrong way.
Coming right up.
I'll give you another week.
Come on, then. Show us what you can do. Unless you're playing for the first.
Greetings. How can I help?
I'm looking for someone. His name's Mikush.
Mikush? Never heard of him.
I've been told he wears a...
Fancy hat?
Exactly.
I've seen him around here. But I don't see why I should talk to a stranger about another stranger. Wouldn't you rather play a game of dice?
Let's play then, if that's what you want.
That's what I like to hear. My palms were getting itchy.
Let's go then.
Maybe you're not playing for the first time, but you can't beat me.
It's filthy again. Damn it.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Here.
Maybe next time.
These ones here. Aye, that'll do.
What a day.
My God, I'm done.
What kind of pig will sit in? The Lord be with you. Why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
Here. Aye, that'll do. Oh, come on! You must have a...
Happy now?
Good game. How about another one?
Maybe. But first, talk.
I've known Mikush since the first moment he showed up here to play. Unsurprisingly. The bloke looked like he couldn't count to 5. I thought I'd found an easy mark. But man, was I wrong. He's a great player. And that kind of praise means something coming from me. He knows when to bet everything on the final roll.
So he won a lot?
Aye, for a while. Until his luck ran out. Then he started borrowing. One time he got so desperate, and maybe had a few too many beers, he started going on about his buried fortune in Messalas, saying he'd surely pay back anyone who lent him money. Ha!
Like I'm invisible or something.
What about that buried fortune of his? Did he ever mention it again?
The next day, he claimed he made it all up, saying he just had too much to drink. Only nobody believed him.
Did anyone lend him anything?
Aye, and Mikush won everything back.
Did anyone seem particularly interested in his fortune? Someone who'd want it for himself? and we'll go after Mikush because of it.
Everyone was interested in it, but Mikush never talked about it again. Besides, that village is burned to the ground and full of rabble. Messerless is an awful mess. That rhymes!
And did he pay back the money he borrowed?
Of course! Every last groschen. He was laughing the whole time, too.
When did you last see Mikush?
A few days ago. He was playing against that hired hand, Drat. Drat lost and didn't have enough money. They left together, and Mikush hasn't shown up since. That's pretty suspicious now that I think about it. That Drat bloke's an odd duck.
What do you mean, odd?
I've heard he's been dealing with some bandits. You'd better have a word with him. But be careful.
Where can I find this Drat?
Somewhere in the village. I reckon he'll be at the farm he works at. Well, technically, because he's a big fella and looks strong, they made him into something like the village catchpole. But to tell you the truth, he's less a catchpole and more just a regular farmhand pretending to be a catchpole.
Where can I find this Drat?
I already told you.
I'll go have a talk with...
Don't mention it. And if you ever fancy a game, you know where to find me. Look out!
Aren't those dice sad that you're just letting them sit there?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything, then?
Ugh, never mind then.
I'll be right with you.
Greetings to you.
You're Drat?
Aye, that's me.
Can I ask you something?
Ask away. But do it fast, I don't have all day.
What do you do for work here?
I'm a hired hand. But not just any hired hand. I'm also the local catchpole, practically the town guard.
Are there any refugees from Messerles here in the village?
No. They say everyone was massacred there. If anyone survived it, they must have fled towards Visaka.
Do you know a fella by the name of Mikush?
I don't know any Mikesh.
Knock it off. I hear you left the tavern together. And no one has seen Mikush since.
Oh yeah, that fella. We were heading in the same direction, but then went separate ways. That's all I know.
You certainly know something about Mikush's disappearance, and you should talk.
Should I? Why's that?
It's got to do with your well-being. If you don't talk, I'll beat you worse than a dog.
All right, fine. Just calm down. It's not my fault. It was Hanka.
Who's this Hanka woman?
Hanka's not a woman, but a man. We've known each other for years. He was a hired hand in Messerles. Certainly know what happened there. The horror. Not long ago, he came to see me. Said he was the only survivor from the entire village, but I know that wasn't true.
Because you met Mikush?
I thought he'd be quite happy that someone else got away, but he was actually quite upset about it.
What do you mean, upset?
Well, you could see it on him, all nervous-like. Seemed to me like it was rubbing him up the wrong way. That Mikush, of all people, survived.
Interesting. Did he tell you anything else?
I didn't ask him any more questions.
So, someone comes to see you, acts all odd, and you don't ask any questions? I don't believe you. You must have had a normal conversation, seeing as you're old friends. And he had to have told you something.
Well, I understood he'd quarrelled with Mikush and his family about some money, a family inheritance. Nothing unique there. It happens in every family, so I didn't pry any deeper. Then he said he'd like to talk to Mikush and whether I could set up a meeting.
Well, thanks to you, he knew Mikush frequents the tavern. So why didn't he go and find him? To talk with him?
I don't know.
Damn it! Come clean. You must have asked him the very same question. So you know the real reason. Admit it.
Hanker told me he'd joined up with some bandits, so he didn't want to show his face in the taverns. It wasn't so long ago they robbed a merchant here. I reckon he was afraid someone might recognise him.
So he wanted to rob Mikush?
I really have no idea. Hanker didn't tell me. I just wanted to help out an old friend. I didn't know what he was up to. What the hell do I care about some strange fellow with a funny hat, damn it? Hanker told me to take Mikush outside the village and then he'd meet him there. But he said Mikush couldn't know about him, and he left figuring out how to do that up to me. So I played dice with Mikush. He's damn good, so I had no problem losing a few games. In no time at all, I owed him quite a few groschen. I told him I could pay my debt immediately, but he'd have to come with me to my hiding place. He didn't blink an eye. He's damn trusting, given how things are today. I took him a little way outside the village, told him I was going to take a piss, and then took off. And that's all. I don't know anything else.
Where did you take him? I want the exact location.
Here, just outside the village, on the way towards Missalus.
Are you trying to lie again, Drat? Hanker joined up with some bandits. You said yourself he wouldn't dare going anywhere near the village. Unless you want to piss me off, you'll tell me the truth. Now.
All right, fine. It was a bit further away from the village. Actually, it was quite far.
Where were you supposed to take Mikush?
A crossroads by the forest, on the way to Missalus. Actually, almost right by Missalus. A little beyond the woodsman's camp. Just go straight. 2 roads intersect there. It's the only proper crossroads on the way.
What happened at the crossroads? I want the truth.
Well, as I was saying, I took Mikush there and told him I needed to take a piss. Then Hanker jumped out of the woods with some bandits. They grabbed him. He began to scream, but there was no one around to hear him.
And what did you do?
I didn't wait to find out what would happen. I ran.
What did Hanker promise you for bringing Mikush to him?
Nothing. I did it out of friendship.
Are you trying to lie again?
All right. He said he'd give me part of the buried inheritance.
So Hanker wanted to get his hands on that inheritance the whole time?
I reckon so.
He felt the family owed it to him, but I don't understand why.
Family. Skeletons in the closet. You never know.
How long have you known Hanker? Since you're such good friends.
We go back a long way. As youngsters, we'd beat the shit out of each other in the Messalus tavern. As it often goes, we ended up becoming friends over a beer, you know? But I haven't seen him since I've been working as a catchpole. Not until now, that is.
Well, if you were such good friends, you must know more than you're telling me.
Maybe. But it's not important.
Every detail is important.
So listen up. Hanker always had one big problem. No woman would have him. He's always said it's because he's not rich. But he's just a hired hand. As if a hired hand can't shag. The stories I could tell.
Get to the point.
Last year, his cousin danced with him at a feast. He was like a new man. He wouldn't stop talking about her. Vendula this, Vendula that. As if he was in love with her. And then, all of a sudden, nothing. He never mentioned her again.
Where might Hanker be now?
I only know what he told me. That he ran off into the forest. And that's where he joined up with those bandits. He bragged about how they made him their captain.
Where were you supposed to take?
A crossroads, just go
I'm not wasting any more time with you. God only knows what Hank has done to Mikush, and you're responsible for it. Be ashamed. You sold out an innocent man for a handful of groschen. Sickening.
I'm truly sorry.
Being sorry won't help. You're a snake in the grass. You deserve punishment.
Please, don't tell anyone. No one can find out.
I could keep my mouth closed, but it's going to cost you something.
Here, take this. It's all I have. And don't tell a soul, please.
Nice, lad. Farewell, Drat. Go! Go! Quick! Quick! Go! Quick! 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 Whoa! Go! Ka! Ka! Whoa! Whoa!
God! 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 Quick! Go!
Blood. And quite a lot of it, too. It looks like they dragged that poor wretch further. I'll have to find out where. That must be Mikush's hat. It looks like it fell off when they dragged him into the woods. I have to find out which way they took him.
shouldn't have done that, fucker! Die! Alarm! To arms!
Fuck! Christ! Fuck me. Fuck.
Oh, so hungry I could eat a horse.
Christ!
Christ. He's on his last legs. Let's have a look then. The burns look ugly, but something tells me they aren't the main problem. The stab wounds are worse. They're red at the edges, and they're hot to the touch. I think this wound is infected. I ought to do something about it. At the very least, clean and bandage it. Maybe some herbs would help him. Medicinal ones. They help with healing. If I place them on his wounds and dress them, he could get some relief. I've seen enough. I don't know exactly what's wrong with him, but I can't leave him like this. I'll do the best I can, then leave it up to God.
Fuck me.
What are we gonna do with you? I shall clean that wound first. And this'll sting a bit.
Ah! That hurts!
The wound is clean. That should stop the pus from forming. I ought to put herbs on that wound. But I won't do that now. I'll be back.
Fuck!
Now it's time to try herbs. They could help you a lot. I have just the thing for this. Right. The wound is clean. You should be feeling better soon. I should bandage it for you. I'll just wrap it tight. There we are. I'll give you a healing potion. I'm sure it'll help. This one should do the trick. Drink up. I'll pray for you. At least your soul will get some relief. How does it go again? All praise and glory is yours, Lord our God, for you have called us to serve you in love. Bless Mikush, so that he may bear this illness in union with your son's obedient suffering. Restore him to health, and lead him to glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. That's all. I'm sure he'll pull through. Mikush?
Who are you?
Henry. But that's not important now. What happened here? Why did they torture you?
I buried inheritance. I told Hanka that the only person who knows where our inheritance is buried is Svatava. And then he burned me. So much pain. I told him where he could find her. My God, he took his men and headed out for her. To the hut. You have to save them. Hurry. I'll follow you. Don't wait for me. Their lives are in danger.
Go! Die! Go! Go! Die! Quick! God! Go! God!
It's not my fault. That's the decision your mother made. Or about our father's decision.
Let her go immediately.
Take another step, and I'll slit her throat.
Don't do it. Do you hear me? You'll be sorry.
Someone else is going to be sorry here.
For God's sake, talk to me.
Why are you sticking your nose into this?
Coward! Leave the woman alone and come fight with a real man.
I'll kill you all! It's all your fault. You forced me to do it.
Let him spill!
You all right?
My dear Vendula, why? Why didn't you do anything? How could you let that happen?
I tried. I mean, you saw yourself.
You tried? You should have tried harder. He killed her, right in front of my eyes.
That's horrible. But I avenged her death. Hanker is dead.
It's too late. That won't bring Vendula back. What happened to Mikush? Did he survive?
Aye, but it was a close call. I was able to save him. He's already on his way here.
This will break his heart.
I'm truly sorry about all this.
Shh. Did you hear that?
What is it?
Someone's outside.
I don't hear anything.
It's those bandits. They're back. They've come for me. Go and look, Henry. I haven't got the strength.
Ugh. Ugh. That's no bandit. Look who's come home.
Mikush. My God.
Svatava. Where's Vendula?
She's dead. Hanka killed her.
Christ! And Hanka? What happened to him?
Henry here sent him straight to hell. Thank God.
It's all my fault. Vendula, I don't feel well. I need to lie down.
Oh, Mikush. Henry, we need to talk. My God, what will I do without her? My God, why? What did I do to hurt anyone? My God, what will I do without her?
What did you want to talk about?
I'm sorry for getting so upset with you like that, but it just hurts so much.
I understand. Is there anything I can do for you?
As you might have figured out, everything that happened was all because of our inheritance, which I hid from the soldiers in Messalis. I understand you've done everything you can for us, but I wanted to ask if you could go and get it for us. You're a strong, capable man, and you don't scare easy, and it'll be worth your efforts. Trust me.
All right, I'll look for it. But you'll have to tell me where I'll find it.
Listen, I'll tell you everything. My memory's not as good as it once was. Our house is the third one on the right when you follow the main road towards Visoka. Anyone entering the village goes by our house. Must have been about 2 days before the tragedy. The neighbor boy ran over and started yelling about how something was coming, that he'd heard it from the patrol on the road. No one believed him, not even his pa. After all, why would soldiers attack a monastery village, one far from their camp? It didn't make any sense. That night, though, I had a strange dream. I tried to put out a fire, but the more water I poured on it, the bigger the flames got. So I decided to hide all our valuables. Only I couldn't do it during the day. I was worried someone would see me. I put all of it in a chest, loaded it onto a handcart, and waited till nightfall.
Continue.
When night fell, I snuck out the back of our house with the handcart, making my way through the hole in the fence next to the compost heap. Mikush was supposed to fix that hole a long time ago, but as good as he is with a needle and thread, well, when it comes to other work, you can forget about it. At least it made things easier for me. First, I headed right. Then I turned left, up the path, around the neighbor's barn. It's outside his fence. I had to stop there, because the neighbor's little brat was still awake and wandering around. Fortunately, he didn't see me. So I kept going past a low wall where 2 paths cross. There, I went left. Once I was safely out of the village, a dog started barking at me, so I had to pick up the pace. Instead of turning right down the path, I went straight into the field there. That handcart was damned heavy, and it was rough going off the path. I crossed the field, making it to the woods, but the wheel got stuck there. I couldn't go any further, and it was pitch black. I lit a lantern and dug a pit to fit that chest. Took me forever. When I was done, I could barely walk straight. The sun was coming up. I left the handcart and shovel there and went back the way I came. I hope those directions are good enough for you to find it.
Why did you do all that work yourself? Why didn't your husband help?
The fewer people know about it, the better. I didn't want to leave anything to chance.
That's all I need. I'll go and find your inheritance. I'm going for the inheritance. I hope it's still there.
I'm sure it is. No one would ever think to look where it's hidden. Me and Mikush will wait for you here. My God, why? What did I do to hurt anyone? What will I do without her?
Quick! Ka! Ka! quick! Go! God! Whoa! Whoa! I wonder what happened to the neighbour's boy. Maybe he managed to escape with his life too. Maybe. The lords are playing soldiers, and it's the ordinary folks that suffer. Just like in Skalitz.
Mi van? Nem kellett volna beleütnöd az orrodat. Baszom az anyádat! Heled egy szempillantás alatt készül.
stench of fire. No. I don't want to be reminded of that day. This is where Svatova took the handcart onto the meadow. The inheritance can't be far.
Ka! Quick! Go! Ka! Ka! Quick! Quick! Ka! Quick!
I was in Messalus and followed your instructions.
And? Did you find the chest?
Aye. It was buried by the forest next to the handcar. Like you said.
Good. Mikush, Henry found our inheritance.
Oh, it was really still there. Well, let's see it.
Here's everything I found.
Fabric, Groshen, our ancestor. That looks like everything.
It looks like the fabrics aren't too damp. I reckon they're still usable.
Well, it might buy us a few days more. But what's the point without Vendula?
We can put the ancestor on her grave.
Anyway, thanks, Henry. Here's something for you. If you ever feel like learning something new, Mikush here would be glad to teach you.
Is he going to teach me how to play dice?
You can't learn dice. You have to have it in your blood.
Come on. He's a tailor by trade, so he can show you how to mend all sorts of things.
I reckon I could. Stop by, Henry. I'll find time for you.
God bless.
Greetings.
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
I'd like to be able to repair more than just a hole in my hose.
Thanks. I'll teach you one trick, but it'll take time to learn it.
I see you're on your feet. You feeling better?
I'm not, Henry. I can never forgive myself for what happened. It's all my fault. I deserve to suffer for the rest of my life.
Before I forget, I found your hat. Here it is.
My hat? I thought I'd never see it again. I made it myself. It's the latest Italian style. You won't find another one like it. Bandula really liked it. It will remind me of her, and of my fatal mistake. But thank you, Henry. Farewell. Great. I'm glad you... What would you like this fine morning?
Show me your wares.
Thank you, and take care. So, what do we have today?
We can do whatever we see fit with her.
There's something I need from her.
You've got folks, haven't you? Go and see her then.
You know what she's like.
Oh, Christ. Pardon me.
Careful.
I'm trying to make peace with her.
Are we
but
going
she's
to have
out the
gruel
door
again
one
tonight?
day.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
going to amuse
Hello?
myself. hope if someone take care of it. I don't care.
I see what you mean, but there's one thing you can't deny.
What's that?
That you really are truthfully
I'll have a jug of